I was supposed to be on a 3-day drive across the state. The plan was simple. Leave early, drive 8 hours, stop somewhere cheap, crash for the night, and repeat. The first day went smooth. Traffic was light, the weather was calm, and I made good time. But by the second night, I was falling behind. A major detour ate up 3 extra hours, and by the time the sun had set, I was still nowhere near my destination. I didn't want to sleep in my car, so I started looking for a motel off the highway. That's when I saw it. Eagle Crest Motor Lodge. Barely lit, just a faded sign in the dark. It was tucked off a quiet exit that wasn't even marked on my map. I didn't care. I was exhausted. I pulled into the lot, which was mostly empty except for a single old truck with flat tires. The office lights were on, so I went in. The man behind the counter was strange. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Greasy hair, dark circles under his eyes, and a weird, fixed smile. "Just one night?" he asked before I even said anything. "Yeah. How much?" "40. Cash only, of course." He gave me a key to room 6. No swipe card, just an actual key attached to a cracked plastic tag. As I walked to my room, I noticed how quiet everything was. No insects, no wind, just silence. Room 6 was at the end of the row. Inside, the room looked normal enough. Cheap bed, old TV, tiny bathroom. But the smell was off. Not quite mold, not quite rot. Something in between. I dropped my bag and decided to shower before bed. While the water ran, I thought I heard something. A soft knock. I paused. It came again. I stepped out, still dripping, and looked through the peephole. No one. I opened the door slowly. Nothing. The air outside felt too still. I closed it again and locked the bolt. A few hours later, I woke up sweating. The air in the room was cold, but I was drenched. I sat up, and that's when I saw it. Someone was sitting in the chair in the corner. I froze. I couldn't see their face, just a dark outline. My throat closed up. I reached for my phone, but it was dead. I turned on the bedside lamp. The chair was empty, no one there. I got up, heart pounding, and looked around. Nothing was out of place. Still, I didn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., the TV flickered on by itself, static. Then a faint voice. "You're already checked in." I yanked the plug from the wall. Silence. But the screen kept glowing. I ran to the office. The man was still there. "I want a different room," I told him, breath shaking. "You can't switch," he said. "Once you're in 6, you stay in 6. I demanded my money back. He just smiled wider. "You already paid." I turned to leave, but the door was locked. From the inside, I backed away and ran toward my car. The engine didn't start. It didn't even click. I looked up at the office window. The man was still watching me, so I left the car and ran. I didn't care where, just away. After what felt like hours, I reached the highway again. A truck driver saw me and pulled over. I told him what happened. His face went pale. "There's no Eagle Crest around here," he said. "Not for years." I insisted. I described it. He looked uneasy. "That place burned down a decade ago. Guy at the desk died in the fire. Room 6. They never found who stayed there that night." A few years ago, I was taking the long route home after visiting a friend in another state. I was never one to take back roads, but my GPS said a scenic route would shave off an hour. I was in no rush, so I took it. The scenery was peaceful at first. Rolling hills, open fields, the occasional farmhouse. It was late afternoon, sun getting low. The road started twisting through hills and dense trees, and soon I didn't recognize anything. There were no signs, no fences, no people. Eventually, I came across a small gravel pull-off and decided to stretch my legs. I parked, stepped out, and just stood there for a moment, taking in the quiet. That's when I noticed it. There was a wooden cabin across the road, half hidden by trees, no windows, no driveway leading to it. And someone was watching me from the shadows beside it. At first I thought it was just a hunter or a local, but they didn't move. Just stood there. I got back in my car quickly and started driving again. 10 minutes later, I looked in the mirror and I swear I saw someone walking along the road behind me. I picked up speed. Another 10 minutes. Then I saw it again. A figure standing on the side of the road, same building, same distance from the trees, no car, no house nearby. No reason for anyone to be there. I tried to shake the feeling. Maybe there were just hikers out here, but the longer I drove, the more I noticed them. Always the same kind of figure, not moving, always staring. Eventually, the road narrowed to a single lane with steep drop-offs on both sides. That's when I came to the gate. It was a metal bar across the road with a hand-painted sign, "Private Road, do not enter." But the GPS still said to go forward. I stopped, thinking maybe I took a wrong turn. I checked my phone. No signal, of course. Then I noticed something scratched into the metal bar. It read, "Once you see them, they follow." I put the car in reverse and nearly hit someone standing behind me. I screamed. When I looked again, the road was empty. I didn't wait. I turned the car around, floorboarded it, and drove like hell back the way I came. Only it didn't look the same anymore. The trees looked denser. The sun had set. And every few minutes in my headlights, I'd catch glimpses of people at the edge of the forest. Staring. Silent. My speed kept creeping up, but the road felt endless. I passed a sign. It said, "Scenic Overlook, 2 miles." That same overlook I passed nearly an hour ago. I was backtracking, but the mileage didn't make sense. The air in my car turned cold. My breath started fogging the windshield. Then the radio clicked on by itself, dead static. And beneath the static, I heard it. "You brought them with you." I shut it off, shaking. Finally, I saw a gas station up ahead. Lit, real, busy. Civilization. I pulled in fast, ran inside, and asked the cashier if he knew anything about the hills behind the scenic route. He paused, then said, "Don't stop out there." Not even for gas. I asked why. He just said they don't like being seen. That night I slept in my car in the station's parking lot under the lights. Every so often I'd wake up to a sound or a shadow just out of view. In the morning I looked around, footprints surrounding my car, and a message scratched into the windshield from the inside. "You saw us." I was driving cross-country to start a new job, eager to leave my old life behind. The journey took me through endless highways, sleepy towns, and stretches of nothing but dirt and brush. The excitement of change was mixed with a quiet nervousness. I'd never been this far alone before. One night, after hours of driving through darkness, I noticed a small exit sign blinking faintly in the distance. The exit was marked Miller's Hollow with no further details. I didn't recognize the name, but my GPS signal had been spotty for miles, so I figured I'd take the exit to stretch my legs. As soon as I took the exit, the road narrowed. The streetlights disappeared. My headlights barely pierced the thick fog that had settled in. I drove slower, noticing the trees crowding close on either side. The silence was so deep it almost felt like the road itself was holding its breath. About a mile in, I saw an old gas station. It was closed, windows boarded up, but a dim flicker of light came from the back. Curious, I pulled over. As I stepped out, the cold hit me like a wave. The night air smelled of damp earth and something metallic. From the shadows behind the station, a man appeared. He was tall, wearing a weathered coat, and his eyes glinted oddly in the dim light. "Need help?" he asked, voice rough. I nodded. He handed me a rusty gas can. "Fuel's out ahead, old pump's broken." I thanked him, but as I turned, I caught a glimpse of something carved into the side of the pump, words barely visible beneath the rust. "No one leaves Miller's Hollow." I froze. The man's smile vanished. "Better fill up quick," he said. "Dark comes early here." I filled the can, feeling his eyes on me the entire time. Back in the car, I tried to start the engine. Nothing. I tried again. Still dead. The man appeared at my window. "Car's out of gas. You need more." I shook my head. "Look, I have to get back on the highway." He chuckled. "You don't want to be out here when it gets darker." The fog thickened. The radio crackled, then hissed with strange noises. I slammed the door and locked it. The man vanished into the mist. Minutes passed. Then the fog cleared enough for me to see. The exit sign was gone. The road behind me was just dense forest. I was trapped. The car sputtered once more, then died. I grabbed my phone. No signal. I was alone. Hours passed. Then headlights appeared on the road, far, then closer. I waved frantically. The car slowed but didn't stop. The driver's face was hidden behind a shadow. As the car passed, I saw it was empty. No driver, no passengers, just an empty vehicle drifting past me. I sat back, heart pounding. That's when the whispering started, soft voices from all around, urging me to stay. I ran into the forest, away from the road. I don't know how long I ran before I found a dirt path. Eventually, it led me back to the highway. When I finally reached a gas station with a working pump, I looked back once more. No sign of Miller's Hollow, no exit, just the endless road ahead. I never took any detours after that.